Good morning, everyone. I don't really have an agenda for this video, so I'm just gonna wash the truck and talk like I normally do, but you don't really have much of a theme for this video here today. These tires haven't been cleaned. I need to go grab I got some new sprayers, but this one's a toast, but I need to walk all the way inside to get one. Looks like I'm gonna have to. All right, time out. Gotta go grab a sprayer. I think this could be the problem solve just by blank Griot's bottles. I'm gonna talk to them about being able to do that. So I'm just gonna buy blank bottles and then put my stuff in them, put whatever I like in them. So this is NextZet Color Tech for the wheels. I should shake it up a little bit first. I don't know, I'm sort of torn on this because Color Tech stinks up everything, but I love how it works. I don't know if it's the humidity out here, but it doesn't stink up my garage. And I know some people it does. But I think it's worth the stench for the quality of the product. So, I mean, you guys know I've been chasing this whole bottle thing forever. And Griot's, Griot was really the only company that's actually done any work to create their own stuff. They created their own bottle, their own sprayer, so they went and had them manufactured.
Did you already have a bonfire over there?
No, we still need to have a fire. I got lots of wood. And then we'll take our Adams rubber and tire cleaner. I like the 32-ounce bottles better than the smaller ones. Grab the other funnel so you guys don't yell at me for cross-contamination. There's that. It's a funnel.
What is it?
The funnel helps me fill up the stuff. This is for cleaning tires. This is called Adams Rubber and Tire Cleaner.
Why does it have bubbles like that?
Because it has lubrication.
Is it like a potion?
Kind of like a potion.
Because it has a funnel.
Yeah.
So which is used?
So I guess the new Griot sprayers don't have the little filter thing on the bottom like the old ones did. This is more, so I can fill it all the way up. So I gotta talk to Griot's about being able to do this, but I'm gonna just buy their bottles.
That's the same thing.
And put my labels on them. So I gotta get.
Why are you putting too much?
To get permission to do that. Too many bubbles, right?
Yeah. How do you get them away? You shake it and that makes it more.
Yeah, if you shake it, you'll get more bubbles. So I'm just gonna do this. And that's it.
That's all you need.
Looks good.
So spray it on your car?
Yep.
Okay, what is it for? Spraying on the truck?
Yep. Can you throw that in the garbage? All right, let's try this again. Now that we got the bottles filled with new sprayers. So these are new KO2s. So let's get some rubber cleaner just to sit on here while we're cleaning the wheels. Do that. So, them big mega rounds that I bought, they're just not as good as these bottles. So I don't know why I didn't just buy these in the first place. And again, hopefully I'll be able to create an Obsessed Garage solution with them. If not, we'll just be flooding Griot's with orders of blank bottles. Maybe I'll just make stickers. So again, I don't have an agenda for the discussion today, so I'm just gonna go top of mind on you and talk about what's going on. So, you know, lately, man, I've been running hard. I've mentioned this quite a few times, and I'm not much of a, like, I don't do self-help stuff, right? I don't follow those type of, you know, personalities. I just don't need that kind of fake motivation in my life about everything's great and everything's going to be awesome. But for some reason, I stumbled upon Gary Vaynerchuk, which I think the reason why I like listening to his stuff is, or at least at least recently, is because of the authenticity of it. The darn truck hasn't been cleaned in weeks because it's been raining for like almost a month straight, which is really odd for Central Florida. It just doesn't do that. It rains a lot, but not consistently like it has been. So anyway, Gary V resonates with me, and he talks a lot about you got to do the work. Which, maybe I should stop saying this, but I keep saying that Obsessed Garage is an accident. You know, the whole deciding to vlog or deciding to, I guess I don't really classify what I'm doing as vlogging, because I've always classified it as creating content, creating. And I think my mindset's changed a little bit on that, and really in me attempting to understand what the heck I'm doing and why. I probably shouldn't care, just keep doing what I'm doing, because whatever I'm doing is working. But he talks a lot about the work. And the work just comes natural to me, especially since I'm doing what I love, right? I love doing this. I love finding this and researching, and then again, I've talked about this before, my drug is having the ability to do the work, do the research, pursue the knowledge, and then I've finally admitted to myself the thing that I really, really like is to be able to dump that knowledge on other people, right? Impart my findings on you. That's the part that's really, really fun for me. I haven't even de-nibbed these tires. We put them on a month ago and I haven't cleaned them yet. So I probably should hit them with something heavier, but that ought to do the trick. Yeah, baby.
Going to the garage.
No.
Why?
I don't have anything to do with the garage right now. You're doing good being my assistant this morning.
Why is your butt so big?
How's my butt so big?
Yeah.
Too much eating.
What?
Too much eating.
My butt big?
No. Yeah, that water's yuck. Don't mess with that water.
Why?
It's got yucky stuff in it. So I think the only reason I'm in my current state, the only reason I've tried to define stuff is so that I can then impart that on you, explain to you what the heck's going on, right? Be open with it. And so, I look back at, what I've been doing in making videos. I've called it, I always thought I was creating, like I said. I'm not creating, I'm just documenting. And so I think my mindset is starting to change a little bit and understand, you know, I'm always finding myself justifying to you why I'm doing something and why I'm sharing it in a certain way. And in the very beginning of the videos, I was just sharing what I already knew, right? So I was just sharing with you what products I'd been using and why and how. And so there's been a bit of a change, and I've shared all of that, most of it with you. So I'm now sharing much more of the life, of the process of learning. And whether you love it or hate it, whether you fault me or not, the process is not easy. You know, I do think I have a little bit of a gift to find this stuff and to create systems. I'm sure there are many of you that are much better at that and make a lot less follies. But since I'm just documenting the journey, you know, wouldn't you rather see the whole process? I think that's better than me just showing up and pretending like I'm all put together. So the documenting of the learning process is what I think most of us enjoy. Not all of us. I mean, some of you just want to be entertained. And that's not my bag. So my day, it looks pretty insane. You know, I'm out here at 6 o'clock in the morning. Kids are up, out here playing already. And I'm out here at 6:30 in the morning now, washing Michelle's truck, even though it's going to rain all week. Just because it's so far gone, it just has to be done. At least I feel like it has to be done. So that's part of my blessing and my curse, right? That's part of the being obsessed, is that now I'm obsessed with doing all this stuff. And there's so much that I can do that it's now caused another problem for me, in that now I have the resources because of the ability to now sell the products. I have such resources to create so many new products, so many different things. Like, for instance, I'm working on hose reels and hoses for the air compressor, which, you know, it's taken there's a ton of trial and error and figuring it out. And even just yesterday, you know, I got the hose reel and then I started installing the hose, and I didn't wind it, so I had to take the hose all the way back off with all the stays and all the connections for the hose. And then I got the wrong hose guide or hose spring protector for the transition from the swivel on the hose reel to into the hose. So I had to overnight or 2-day air some better, the right size anyway. So to do that. And so there's just been this never-ending pursuit, and I feel a sense of like I need to get that done. I need to do it, and I need to do it right now, which is again part of the reason why this has worked. The amount of effort that I'm putting in. You know, I'm working 15 hours a day to build this. To build what, I don't know, but I'm not working in my mind. I'm just doing what I love doing, and just doing lots of it and chasing it. But you know, I still have obligations. I still have a job. You know, and I probably always will. And that's cool. I enjoy both. So the latest battle for me has been, and part of the reason why I've been working so hard, is I have now a stable of products that I'm working on building. So just to take you back a little bit, in the store, So I started selling T-shirts and obsessed over getting the right type of T-shirts, and then hiring. I've talked about this where I've hired and fired a bunch of companies because I couldn't get them to either get off their rear end to get it done, or couldn't get them. Let's try this. I couldn't get them to make the shirt I wanted or then screen print it properly, and anyway, so I've battled with that, and then I created a store on Shopify, and then I struggled with, those of you who followed along, I wanted to make a forum. The problem is I made the forum, it sucked, and hired a guy, paid him 15 grand to build my darn website, and it turned into a gosh darn WordPress nightmare. And then I had plugins on top of plugins on top of plugins, and so then we had speed issues, and so then I lost the love for the forum, and then I realized the forum is not what I want to do. If I was going to do a forum, I'd almost need to do that full time, and to spend money on a forum didn't make any sense. To hire somebody to manage the forum, that doesn't make any sense at all to me. I just don't think the forum is going to make any money, and I think forums are in the process of dying off. There was the nostalgia there about how much I loved forums, and now again I find myself not on forums very often, and so the Facebook groups, even despite the fact that they're disorganized and inferior from a knowledge organization perspective, it's where the eyeball, where people are. So I nixed the forum, but I still had a website that was kind of a mess that I couldn't update anymore. And so throughout that process, I started adding more products, right? And ever since, so I started in January of last year with the Frenzla package and the Mosmatic gun and the MTM gun packages. And then I struggled for months and months and months to get them, right? So I'd be taking pre-orders, and then they just, these European companies don't step up to opportunity in general, right? They're not like American companies, where if they see a demand, they're going to hustle to figure out how to meet it. The European companies, in my experience, have been very slow to react, very reluctant, like it's almost like they don't believe it. And then they make great products, so they have something that most people don't have, which is the ability to manufacture and create and engineer these amazing things, but then I can't get them to produce them. Part of it is you can't just change your production capacity overnight. From the very beginning, for months and months and months, struggling to get the stuff, right? So I'm selling it, and then I can't get it to the people, and that stresses me out. But I was able to manage it because, we only had a few orders, here and there, maybe a few hundred orders, and we were able to fulfill, let's say, most of them. And but I only had a few products, right? So it was easy to manage. So inventory really didn't matter, even though I'd maintain inventory. The distance between, my parents being up in Pennsylvania, there's a little tar on here, and me here really didn't matter. It wasn't a big deal. So fast forward today, I now have about 500 different SKUs, 500 different products. And so the simple thing to do is to take inventory and manage it. But I also have lots of packages of stuff, and still the same issue of not being able to get the stuff. Frenzla pressure washers, they can't produce them fast enough now. They used to sell a container of pressure washers a year, or maybe a container full of the 1122s that I'm selling. And now I'm selling a container and a half every month. The US hasn't been a big market for them, and we have issues with, we're the only place that needs 110 volt or 120 volt, 60 hertz windings. We need different capacitors for that. We need different UL approved GFCI power cords. And so all those products have to line up. Same thing with, Mosmatic, we're using NPT fittings, so they have to, produce that stuff different for us. And so you combine a couple of things, supply issue, tons of inventory, and my parents are in Pennsylvania, and I can't see it. So I'm not making excuses here, I'm just telling you what's going on. I will perfect this, there's no question. And as it grows, I'll continue to have more problems. If there weren't problems, then what's the point, right? The solve is the fun part. And so the issue here, so we have a bunch of factors that combine to create a bigger problem, in that we've got lots of sales, which is great. Not enough product to sell, which sucks. But also has a little bit of advantage in that not having the product creates a bit of a supply demand, a little bit of a scarcity. And it's not like you can just go get it elsewhere. Most of these things, they don't have it anywhere else. And if they do, they don't have it because they're buying from the same place I'm buying. So a little bit of scarcity and supply becomes a problem. And then I've got all these different packages and a very difficult inventory situation. Which again, you guys that have big businesses that have managed lots of thousands of different products are laughing at this. But just take yourself back to when you first started this, whatever it is you're doing. It's not as simple as it seems. Dealing with the logistics of getting the products here and then shipping the products out, especially when you don't have it. And then I've got all these different bundles of packages that pull from a bunch of different products. And so, whereas we were able to manage it, my dad was able to manage it very easily because we had 25 things. Now we've got 500 things that you've got to try to keep in stock. And I'm not able to do an inventory control system yet because it's not here. So I'm transitioning to that. So that's going to be a really fun learning experience, really fun project for me to build out. Again, I'm building out OGHQ, which I think and I knew this from the beginning. I probably have made a mistake in making a little display area and a little work area with the lift and everything. I call it my product testing area. I think I'm going to have to fill that up with pallets of stuff here very soon. Which will be, again, another really, really great problem to have. But building out a system on Shopify, see, the Shopify platform is great from a hosting perspective. I've migrated entire ObsessedGarage.com to that platform so I don't have speed issues any longer. And it's all integrated into one place, so when you sign in, I got rid of the forum. Got rid of the gear pages because now the gear page is the store, right? I don't need to send you elsewhere to buy stuff. You can just get it from me. And so now I think one of the keys is making sure that I don't screw up you as a customer. The people, the early adopters, the guys that are buying in the beginning, by not communicating well enough. So I'll spare you the details. Once again, I'm not making excuses here, just sharing with you where I'm at. The communication part is tricky. It seems very simple, but I'm telling you, it's not. When you have 375 orders of all different types of products, where each one of them is missing like one thing, and each one of the suppliers is promising you when it's coming. And the issue is, the simple thing is just take it out of stock, but then you can't buy a lot of the stuff that you want to buy because you're missing that one thing. So I'm battling between this idea of taking the order, taking the back order from you, and then fulfilling it when you get it, and making sure everybody gets everything timely. It's complicated. A fun exercise to work through, but it gets pretty daunting at times. So I'm working through that, and I'm going to make some videos here coming up just to share. You know, I've always been. Lately, I've had this fear of this like I don't want to because I've had some people copy my website. You know, there's that one douche out in California who basically copied it verbatim. You know, and then it really burned me up that I did all this work, and here comes this goofball, marks everything down $25 or 25 cents, depending on the product, has no ingenuity at all, doesn't even named it the same as what I called it. They're basically just copying everything instead of doing work on his own. And so I've had this tendency to say, man, I don't want to share all this because the people are just going to copy it. But the thing I don't realize is that the effort, the work you have to put in order to make this work or to make this successful is, you know, the chances are those people are going to have it. If they try to steal it, they try to steal it. But I want to be transparent and share the process, so I'm going to make some videos talking about how to build the Shopify store, and because I think it's interesting. And I'm sure some other people will too, and maybe you go build some store like, hopefully you don't copy mine, but maybe you go do something that you're interested in doing, or you're selling model airplanes or something. All right, so I got a little bit of a reset left here. I'm gonna put in this, and then we'll wash with. I think I'll put some Chemical Guy Citrus Red in the bucket. Let's see how much reset we got. Let me put a little bit of water in this. My new bucket filler is leaking like crazy, so it's a good thing I don't just release this stuff right off the bat. The stainless fittings aren't playing very well, it seems. I think I just need more tape. I just wanted to use up the rest of this. All right. So as I was saying, the documentation of the process is what I really enjoy. And I think that's where people can really connect. You know, and it does open me up to attack, right? Opens me up to, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're talking about, but I honestly don't care about that. I'm confident enough in who I am and what's going on, and so I'm gonna continue to share. You know, because those who pretend like they know everything are full of crap. Let's see, the bucket filler, this is my new stainless bucket filler. And those of you who said you like the black one better, I'll show you in a video in the future, but there is no question. I mean, this thing is amazing. I mean, look how flexible that is. And 3/4 inch stainless. It's just amazing, man. It's leaking from right here. So I probably need to torque it better and add some more tape. Although this fitting shouldn't need tape, but yeah, it's leaking from there. Or maybe the tape is what's causing the leak. Anyway, I'm gonna foam the truck with some reset here. This stuff doesn't foam as well as some other soaps. I'm going to put some citrus wash in the bucket, which we'll be okay with because the car's coated. So this isn't going to take the coating off, but the truck is so dirty that I need something a little heftier. Citrus wash should be back in stock here soon. Getting it has been rather difficult. They make it every time I order it. And so I have to get new batches all the time, and I haven't been able to order as much because I don't have so much room in my parents' house. But again, it's June 1st, They're moving down in 24 days. It's gonna be awesome. So reset doesn't sit on the truck as long. So we're gonna have to pick up the pace here. It's so dirty that it becomes this process takes a lot longer. I have to visit the buckets more often because of so much dirt. I'll probably have to go add more water to the buckets. Man, this thing's a mess. I gotta get a new little ladder. I want to get one of those planks. So the interesting thing will be the continued sharing of the process, sharing of the building, sharing of the problems, you know, and then the inevitable pushback from that. But then I think the advantage is that it gives everybody an inside look into whether they want to be a part of it or not. I think that's the real power of doing it that way. I have a lot going on this month. I'm going out to Utah. I tried to schedule something to do a collaboration with Jason from Engineering Explained, but we're gonna miss each other because I'm going out to hang out with the rag company. So I'm going to Salt Lake to do the Raptor driving experience. Instead of coming back, I'm going direct to Boise for a couple of days. I think I already did this. Yeah. To talk more specifically about microfiber. I mean, microfiber has been impossible to get too. It's been pretty crazy. Should probably do another wipe down with reload on this because this reset citrus wash combination is probably going to strip that off. I've also got to change the oil in this thing. I'm probably just gonna do it here in the driveway or in the wash bay rather than take it over to the garage. You don't really need to lift this thing. It's so easy to get to. The problem is I don't have all the tools over at OGHQ yet. And these things only take 30 minutes to change. So I'll be doing that trip and try to shoot some video. I'm meeting Will Moss. His YouTube channel is Will Motivation. I'm meeting him out. We're gonna go do the Raptor experience together. It's funny how pop culture popular this truck has become. Maybe not this one, but the new one. How many posts I see of people buying these things. They're making lots of the new generation, so I suspect the new generation won't retain value like this one has. I still think we'll see, but I still think the whole 7-liter V8 is fake news on the new one. It's funny how everybody says, well, why don't you get the new V8? I said, well, it doesn't exist. That's why. So I will if they make it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. And I know 20 of you are going to send me some fake news article. When Ford announces it, I'll believe it. I don't think it's out of the realm, but I don't know. I just have a uneducated, sneaky suspicion that's not going to happen. So when my parents get here, I just ordered all of my racking for HQ because now I got pallets of crap. Lots of hose reels. The Mosmatic wand holders will be here soon. So I've got lots of stuff that I've got to store in HQ. It's still amazing though. Someday I'm going to write a book on this. But I can't explain to you how difficult it has been to become and be able to even represent a lot of these products. So another example of, you guys have seen me talking about Prie hose bibs for a long time, right? And then you go online, you search for them, you can't find them. It's only as of recent that they've done a better job of making the product available. I couldn't even find it on Amazon, so a lot of times people would say, hey, where do I get that thing? And I couldn't even find the link to where I bought it. It was like an obscure Amazon vendor. And so now, I'm ready to become, a dealer, and they won't let me. I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. You got a product that nobody knows anything about, and I can't become a dealer. And I understand why. They're worried about protecting their current network and all of that, which is great, which is good, which means if and when I do become a dealer or distributor for the product, that they'll protect me too from just having any old goofball. But man, is it frustrating. And that's just one example. Pretty much every single supplier I've had to have the same battle with to say, look, no, I'm for real. Look, the people that are buying from me are the customers that you want. We're the people that go out and influence other people around us. So it's free advertising and much better word of mouth advertising than sharing some goofy article on Facebook that you just reshare that you didn't even write. That's the problem with my current industry, is the reshare thing, the check the box on social media, which I think is a complete waste of time. Nobody reads that. Nobody gives a crap about any of that stuff. If you're going to be on social platforms, you have to be authentic. You have to create a story. You can't just check the box. It's a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of follow-up, a lot of authenticity needs to be there. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So if you have a business and you're just finding some article that pertains to your business that you got from some industry magazine, you're like, oh, check this out. Nobody gives a crap about that. Nobody's looking at that. Nobody's reading it. What they are looking at is when you post, your first time in your life you got a first class seat on Delta, or look at this thing, this new planning software, this new day planner software that you just discovered and why you think it's great, or the conference you're at and why you chose to go to it. Not hey, here's the industry article that someone at corporate headquarters wrote. Nobody cares about that. I know I don't. The only people who care about it are the people who wrote it. And they only wrote it because they got paid to write it. So even they don't care about it. I don't know where I was going with that tangent. This is why maintaining your vehicles and washing them more often is so much smarter, because it takes me twice as long to wash the thing because it's so gosh darn dirty. And then I'm probably marring, damaging the coating because I've got to be more aggressive to get it clean. It's just a lose-lose situation. So don't do that. All right. Because it's going to rain anyway, it's already looking like it's going to rain. This is kind of mainly just to get the bulk of the dirt off the truck. I finished it. I just blew it off with the Ego blower. By the way, I got the new big battery, which is awesome. So it's the 4.5 sized version, the big size, amp hours or whatever it's rated at. But the main thing, I wanted to get some pearl on the tires because the tires look terrible. They're brand new tires, that I never cleaned or treated or did anything with. So there's a new 1-to-1, so I have a 1-to-1 pearl in here that I can dress on the wet tires because I'm using, it's 1-to-1 water mixture anyway. So this ought to dress the tires nicely. I didn't prep them as well as I would have liked. Normally I'm going to use Stoner's Terminator. I use some Shine Supply Wise Guy diluted 1-to-1 to prep the tires, but I didn't do it. I mainly just want to, Michelle's leaving tomorrow for the beach, and then I'm leaving a few days later for the OG, the Obsessed Garage Mountain Gathering. So, doing this quick cleaning is mainly just to get the bulk of the dirt off of it, and at least make the tires look like they're not yellow and disgusting. So this is my new tire dressing procedure. I think it's still smart to have the block for your smaller, the foam block, to have for your smaller tires. But anyway, that's it. So I'll come back and then wipe it, and it'll leave a nice finish. And then these rusty zinc bolts, I've got some stainless one coming at some point. I also have to figure out why the step isn't going all the way up. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I know this is kind of random, but I wanted to get the camera out. I would hope that as I continue down this path, what I'd like for you guys to do is to continue to do what you do and just keep talking about sharing Obsessed Garage with people that you think belong here. My goal isn't to go build the biggest audience or have the most subscribers. The goal is to have a core grouping of people that want to be a part of something, want to be a part of this niche. So anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I got a lot of videos coming up at OGHQ soon. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.